Hey there, CSS friends! Welcome to Sunday CSS, where I, Julie and create CSS art and animations. And today I'm going to draw this boy with CSS Noodles. And yes, I'm still working on my neuromorphism video, and today is gonna be a Code With Me episode. So grab the cup of coffee, sit back, and let's get started. Let's write some HTML. First of all, we have two scenes, like first one with the boy and the second one with the text. So I need a div for each of them. And in the first scene, we have a boy. We need a div for the head. We're gonna be his hair, eyes, mouth, and cheeks. Also, we have two arms. I'm gonna place the left one inside the boy element and the right one outside, because between the boy and the arm, they're gonna be a plate. For the second scene, we need just the text, 5 minutes later. So it's time for CSS. Let's draw the boy, and let's start from the body. The root element is for his body and his t-shirt. Before pseudo element, I'm gonna use for the neck. Next one is a hat, and the root element is for his hat and the part of his hair. For hair, I'm gonna use a box shadow, and to make it bigger or wider, I'm gonna use a spread value for the box shadow. It's the 4th number. It could be below 0, but here I need to do it smaller. And the round part of the hat I'm gonna draw with the before pseudo element. Hair element is for the waves on his hair. It's just 2 forelocks, so the root element is for the big one. And I'm gonna use a radial gradient for it, but not like we use it all the time. It's gonna be the transparent inner part and the colored outside part. And to make this shape smoother, I'm gonna use border radius, and look, it looks pretty smooth. For second and smaller element, I'm gonna use a before sorted element, and it's gonna be the same thing but a little bit smaller. So I just copy paste this code and make it smaller. Okay, let's move to the eyes. Eyes are just circles, so let's draw 2 circles. So yeah, the root element is for the eyelids, and both so the elements are for eyes, and it's the same. They are circles, but they have a linear gradient inside for pupils. So this character has 2 mouths, like the opened one and the closed one, and I'm gonna use the root element for just the placement of this block. It's gonna be in the center of the root block, and before and after, so the elements are gonna be for the closed and the opened mouth, and before is for opened, and it's just a blob with inner box shadow. The closed mouth consists from 3 gradients, 2 radial gradients and 1 linear gradient. And for the animation, we're gonna move one of these gradients because we can animate the background position, just like the transform property. Cheeks are just circles. Actually, it's one circle and a box shadow that repeats this circle. So the element I'm gonna use for the nose, because I don't wanna create another element just for the nose, and I'm not gonna animate cheeks, so we can use the element just for the nose, and it's just a square with one border radius, and that's it. Next thing that we need to do is an arm. And for the arm, we need all three elements, the root element and both pseudo elements. And here I'm gonna use the same trick that I showed you on mosquito video. It's about joints. So if we're gonna move our characters, we have to remember about joints. All the elements should have transform origin point in the center of the joint, and if we want to use it, we're gonna have really strange picture, and if we want to create the human, we have to remember about joints and use them. So the main thing we have to remember about transform origin point. The hand is the most difficult part, but actually it's pretty easy. For fingers, we have to use just radial gradients, and we have to place them one on another, and it's gonna look like fingers. Let's try. And same thing with the right arm.
Later.
And one more thing, we need ears, and I'm gonna use heads after pseudo element for ears, and I'm gonna create one circle with radial gradient and one conic gradient. I already used this trick in the video with shapes. If you haven't seen this, just watch it after this video. and I need the second ear, and for this one I can use the box reflect property, but it won't work on Firefox. And yeah, if you want to draw something for Firefox, just use one of other pseudo elements, for example from the cheeks, and also you can create another element just for ears, but I'm gonna use a box reflect property here. And the most interesting part, noodle. For this wavy shape, we need just one div with its pseudo elements, so just one rectangle, and each wave is just a radial gradient. So I'm gonna use radial gradients, and I'm gonna move them outside the shape, just like this. And of course repeat it. The plate is pretty easy. It's just a rectangle with border radius, and another part is pseudo element with border radiuses and linear gradient. Nothing special, we already did this in previous videos, and let's just do it. The last thing is the shadow. It's just a rectangle with border radius. And now we can start animating. Well, if you don't wanna watch me doing this, just use chapters on YouTube and move to the next chapter.
6.5 hours later.
And now I need to place all of these tiles into the actual keyframes. And here I can use an animation inside the animation. I can use keyframes to start and pause another animation. Well, that's it. Just an hour and we have a really nice animation. So thanks Markus Magnusson for the original animation, and here is my CSS recreation. Like this episode, write a comment, subscribe to my channel, and see you soon. Bye!